Welcome then to the Parrsboro United Baptist Church, and we are thankful that you're here to worship with us and pray that our God will indeed come upon you and be your help in the course of this morning. We just prayed that Jesus did heal not some people, but all people. I want you to think for just a moment. What would happen if you went to your doctor who, after examining you medically, says to you, your lungs are gone, or your heart will stop anytime, your kidneys will shut down, your liver is cancerous, and it's aggressive. How does that feel at that moment? All hope is gone. And it's just about fear, you might drop dead. And then it helps you. We found a match. You undergo a transplant. Think about it. There will be a new lease of life. I won't die after all. But there has to be that painful experience, the transplant. It's necessary for you to live. Without it, you can't. But think how painful it must be if your doctor should say, I don't know what to do in your situation. It's like a student sitting before a teacher who says, I have nothing to teach. What's the point? You want to go to someone who diagnoses your illness aright and prescribe the right remedy. Someone who will teach you and bring awareness so that the darkness that was in your life goes with the learning that sits in, and you can see that you have somewhere to go. After what we looked at last Sunday, some of us might have felt, oh, I'm useless. Of what worth am I? Now realize that your worth is not in yourself, but in one who is able, about whom we've been reminded, we can do not some things, but all things in him. And the question, therefore, we ask ourselves this morning is, who will we trust to give us peace of mind? Who will we trust to get us over our difficulties? Who will we trust for health while we linger on this earth? Who will we trust to pull us out of our weaknesses? Who will we go to that we may find that life is worth the living? Who will give us hope that does not disappoint? Who? Well, our text points us just straight to that person. Here is where the whole story begins in the text we have. We have an all-knowing Jesus. He doesn't know some things. He knows all things. And the beauty about that is simply this. Think of those who are assassins or robbers. If the people who guard them knew who was going to attack, when they were going to attack, what weapons they were going to use, and exactly at what point they would arrive, and the manner in which the attack was going to be, what would they have done? The guards would have got themselves ready with an artillery, ammunition, whatever you may call it, good enough, big enough to repel the assassins or the robbers. But human limitations make that impossible. And we hear of assassins and robberies and these miserable characteristics. Because it's not always possible to read the intents of other people unless you're able to get into their minds and get to know exactly what they are thinking. Until you hear them, you don't know. Until you read their intention, you don't know. But here we are dealing with one who, before you even think your thought, knows it. Before you perform your deed, knows it. He's the all-knowing Christ. At this particular time, he's dealing with the people who realize he has come to help others. He has just been helping and is going to help. But this now come to be a blockade to his helping. He knows it. And so his withdrawal is not that he's afraid of his assailants or those who accost him. It is simply this, that he may create an opportune time for him to avail himself to those who need him and the help he's about to offer. So he knows who is thinking what, he knows what they are going to do, and if they should get rid of him, then the help he's going to offer will have its limitations, and he says, no, I will draw back so that I strategize and get to give the people what they need. Don't you need one who is as knowledgeable as that? He's never taken by surprise. He's never ignorant. He's never unable. And he avails himself to you in the course of this very morning. But this all-knowing Jesus, what does he avail to us too? That he commands the following, doesn't he? Because it says, many followed him. Sometimes we tend to think there are very few Christians. Look at how many of us are in this institution today. It's a big fraction of the people who are outside. Just yesterday there was something like, what do you call that game?
Baseball.
Baseball, yeah. You could have seen the beautiful crowd, almost 3-4 times this crowd.
Like cricket.
There you are. This Thursday, our young people at the elementary school will be singing. I bet there will be more than 1,000 people there to watch the children do it. And some of us may begin to say, Christ has no following. Christ has no people. What does he offer? What help can he give? Don't be deceived by that. The passage doesn't say a few follow. It says many follow. You will be surprised how many of those aching hearts are going to watch that baseball, watch that singing, in the hope that their heart might be taken away from the pain that is gnawing at their soul, because they'll have a little laughter during the time they are watching that entertainment. But that's only momentarily. As soon as it is over, they are back to themselves, or they might entertain themselves to some drug, some alcohol. But the moment the drug goes out, the alcohol goes out, the situation is worse off than they were before. There are many, not just a few, who are like that. And the Christ is coming not to attend to some, he's coming to attend to all. You know how our doctors, even though they have general knowledge of subjects, specialize on certain things. Okay, you have a cardiac problem. Oh, this is your problem. But you see, even though I know this, let me take you to a specialist. And so sometimes the specialist is not available. And you're being told, your heart is aching hard. And you said, you must wait 2 years. Hey. I need help now. But you don't know how it is. I need a knee replacement. Okay, in the next 18 months you can have it. My knee will not wait that long. But these are the realities of life. Those who are specially tailored to do certain things are not readily available. But he's a Christ who is coming, and he's not saying, wait. He's saying the only one who is waiting is me. I'm waiting for you to come to me, a ready help, able and willing, sufficient and adequate, available right now. I begin to ask myself, what is causing you heartache What is causing your disturbance? What is causing your restlessness? What is causing your failure? What is causing your sorrow? What is causing your sadness? Well, there is one who is adequate. His name is
Jesus.
Yes. And that name means Savior. And if you want, that name means Helper. Look at how the whole thing closes. Because it shows his complete adequacy, doesn't it? For Jesus, we are told, healed them all. So those who come, it doesn't say, you go, I'll send you to the next expert. You, let me study a bit, then understand your problem, then after that you can come to me. Neither does he say, when we go to a hospital, your heart is aching, your temperature is up, and you can't wait to get to the doctor, but there are 15 people ahead of you. You wish you could push them all out and be the one there and that you attended to. But Jesus says, even if the whole world comes at the same time, all of them will be attended to as if each one of them is the only one who is there. There's only one who has that ability. It's called Jesus. And that is why the Bible tells us that when we go to heaven, we shall see not a few people, we shall see thousands upon thousands, trillions upon trillions, and countless upon countless. So God has immeasurable ability to help, and so he has countless people coming to help, and as countless as they are, as immeasurably as that, he will come and give them the help they need. Do you have a thought that is gnawing at your soul and say, you're just speaking words. No one can redeem me out of my situation. Not only am I that bad, but I really don't get anything out of what you are saying. Isn't that the very problem? You're not getting anything out of what I'm saying. And faith comes by hearing. And if you don't hear, then you won't believe. I've said this often. Each one of us never was there when we were given birth. Mother told us, I am your mother. And she has proved it by just caring for us. But some mothers have cared for foster children as if they were biological mothers. We know that. So it could have been a lie. And that's why in some instances when the mother says, actually, I'm not your biological mother, you are killing that fellow. You're telling that. Because they've only known you to be their parent. But the Christ you're talking about cannot be deceived, neither does he deceive you. And so when he says, if you come and believe me, it will be well with your soul. Whatever experience you're going through, whatever problem, whatever heartache, whatever disturbance. So I ask you, what is the pain that you have this morning? What is the weakness that you have? What is the disturbance? What is the concern? To whom have you gone? And what help have you received? How satisfactory has that help been? Has it been sufficient for you? The Christ to whom you come this morning is one who is sufficient. His diagnosis is always on the dot. His prescription is always right. And there is no single record of failure. He healed them all. And you will not be the one to be the first to be disappointed. But when you come, I can imagine all these who went to Jesus went away with a story. I went to Jesus and he healed me. John chapter 9, the 25th verse, gives us the climax of this story. This blind man is healed. And when he's troubled about it, he says, why are you troubling me? Here are his words. One thing I know. Once I was blind, but now I see. You will be the one to share that story. Once I had a heartache, now I am at rest. Once I had a pain, now I am at peace. Once my mind was rolling, now it's specified. Now I am this. It won't be unless you come. to Jesus. But will you come?
Yes.
And there's only one way of showing that you have come. It's by praying to him. Will you do that? Let's take the offering.